All right, team, we're in the middle of March already. Time flies when you're having fun. This is Colin in panels. I love this because it's stop and fix. So they built this cold cart to have it right by the station where they're loading the extruder, but it had issues. It wasn't stable when you got it loaded and were pushing on it, so they just quickly braced it up. Love having stop and fix as a part of our culture. Great job, Colin. So you always start a truss where one side is up against a pin, but sometimes the other side doesn't break on a pin, and so the truss can try to move as it gets rolled by the gantry, and that's no bueno. So Davis came up with this, and I believe maintenance welded up this jig so that you could brace the other end so that you get the exact same profile every time. Love improvements that go to quality. This is really, really cool. More continuous improvement going on here. Antonio showing off Davis's improvement at DSAW 2. So this platform, the main part of this wooden platform was a previous improvement. But it wasn't quite sufficient, so they added where you could step closer to the live deck right there, and then also the ramp going down on the outside just to make it much more user-friendly for the operator if he needs to move around. Also, big safety improvement on that ramp because that step was definitely not to code. It's too big. So great job, guys. Love seeing this. Greg showing off how he benefited from Jeffrey's improvement on labeling all of his Warrior pins. This is something really cool just because all of these improvements that we're making, they have downstream effects to our team members, and that's a big reason why we should do this. We should think about the next person, and Jeffrey's improvement helped Greg's life when he needed some Warrior pins. Great job, Jeffrey. Another stop and fix moment here. So we had an issue where a window was grabbed for a legitimate reason. It needed to be used for a training session, but then there was miscommunication around when it shipped. So the product went to ship. That window wasn't there because it was still sitting in the office. So instead of repeating that problem down the road, we just have some windows dedicated to training now so we don't have to pull one out of stock. Sean McKinney showing off how Juan just stays after it everywhere you look. So Juan took it upon himself to clean up a bunch of old electrical, get it off the wall, get everything cleaned up so that there's no confusion when we go to do electrical work in Beasley production. Thank you, Juan. Another one from Sean. So fix what bugs you. We talk about dust mitigation and dust coming off the trimmer. We made some improvements there, but it's still bugged Sean because it was just getting all over the place. So built a wall right here just to at least keep it contained, make the cleanup process easier. Fix what bugs you. Way to go, Sean. Big safety improvement here. Thank you, Austin and Colin on the Tiger team for this. So pallet racking at Beasley used to have set up like this with space in between the pieces of 2x4. That caused a safety issue that came up and we got it fixed. So nothing can move around now. It's all tight in there. So we eliminate that safety concern. Thank you, Tiger team. Great 2-second improvement here in Beasley production. Instead of previously just having one lockout tagout padlock board, now we have one for interior and exterior. This eliminates some waste in just identifying which padlock you need, but also they got those boards closer to the pieces of equipment that they actually apply to, eliminating some transportation waste. Great job. Another great 2-second improvement. So air hose right here in Beasley production, instead of having to unwrap that and then wrap it back up when you're done, just have it on a retractable coil. Much easier to use, much easier to clean up when you're done. Definitely saves 2 seconds. Great job, production team. I love this because in my mind, everything comes back to human connection. So much can be fixed by just better communication. Better communication happens when you know your team members and the team members you need to talk to on a regular basis, building a relationship with them. So weekly in-person meetings with salesmen and coordinators is a win. Thank you guys for taking that seriously. Great improvement by Andrew related to transportation waste. So these blocks were a huge improvement in the stacking process on interiors, and they had a stock location, but it was a few steps away. So made a stock location right there at the station, maybe one step every time you need one, is just a giant improvement. Way to go, Andrew. Neri had an issue where his headers were just falling together and he had to sort through them. Also has the potential to fall over, so he created dividers for the different sizes as well as secured them in place. Awesome improvement, Neri. And I'm a sucker for Poka-Yoke mistake proofing things and visual controls. So Neri color coded for the different sizes, so it's difficult to make a mistake Incredible job. I love it. And Mike Campbell jumping in with an improvement with visual controls. So Kaizen cornering areas to sit pallets down when receiving a truck of slabs. I believe that's the improvement. Really, really cool. It's not necessarily a defect per se if you put it in the wrong spot, but it can be if you have so many that you run out of space. So lining that out so you never run into that issue where you run out of space. Way to go, Mike. And finally, over in panels, relocated the hopper closer to where it's needed over by the Hornet saw so you don't have to travel. There's not transportation waste or defects where you're picking up pieces because you tried to throw it into the hopper and you missed. Let's follow Mike's lead in the previous video and Kaizen corner this so it stays right there. But great job, panel team. So let's end this week on Poka-Yoke. How do we mistake-proof things? How do we create processes and controls so that we make things hard to make a mistake? We want to not pass defects on internally to our team members, to our vendors, or our customers. You guys are doing an amazing job. Have a great week.